food, we don't get clapped very often. You either go out, you do your job, and everybody's like, oh, you did okay, or you get food throughout the stage. But thank you, Sarah, for the introduction. Good morning, everybody. Excited to be here. This is less pitch, more presentation, so be kind on your grading schedule over there. As you can see on the intro over here, I currently wear two hats professionally. I'm both a small business owner, creator, and also work in economic development here at the Iowa City Downtown District. The Downtown District is an organization that helps support the entire downtown and also the north side area, which is up there by Polly. So because I wear two hats, this is like a multi-pronged type presentation, try to hit through 3 minutes on my most recent project, which is Pullman Bar Diner, and then transition into the Downtown District and then kind of open it up for questions from there. Pullman Bar Diner is located, depending upon how you orientate yourself with downtown Iowa City, either next to Prairie Lights or across from the sports column. Do you have any across from the sports column people in here? It's okay. There you go. You got to be honest, right? Not everybody's a literary person. You know, UNESCO City of Literature. But we started this project. We opened January 1st, a year and a half ago. So that'd be about 2014. And it's a partnership between myself and Matt Swift, who also owns like 18 different restaurants in town, Blackstone, Reds, 30 Hop. Matt and I grew up together, went to Corville Central Elementary together. When I was out playing in the NFL, we always talked about doing a restaurant, and we had this idea to do this fun diner. We wanted to think about something that, what's Iowa, what's Midwestern? That's a diner, that's fried chicken, it's cheeseburgers, it's French fries, and how can we kind of put our own little spin and riff on it? We wanted one of these small, kind of narrow spaces that you find traditionally in a downtown, older area. Luckily we found this was an old orange leaf frozen yogurt. We wanted to create this space, and kind of our way for differentiating ourselves. It's tough in the restaurant world because you're not really doing anything proprietary. You have to really identify where the white space might be in the market and really get to know it. So we felt like there was an urbanly inclined adult, that 21 to 35-year-old age that really wanted to come downtown, but there wasn't really the breadth of options to do that quite yet. So we wanted to create not only the food and the menu offerings, but an experience and design and ambiance there where those people would want to come. So that was really our target segment, was that kind of 21 to 35-year-old segment. And we saw the restaurants that are really successful with that segment, Clinton Street Social Club, Atlas, Basta, a few of them. We felt like there was a little need there in a niche. So we launched Pullman. Again, it's just really kind of a riff on a diner. We have your core diner food, and then also our chefs play around the edges a little bit with some fun stuff like bone marrow and crazy things like that. I'm more of a cheeseburger guy, but you gotta let them do their thing. That's Pullman's story. I think it's interesting also to kind of dive into, why are restaurants successful in the 21st century? And there's really two elements. I really view a restaurant as kind of like a conduit and a connector, connecting human beings to two things that we're wired to be connected to, that we want to be connected to, that in this digital age is really fleeting. And that's both our connection to each other and a connection to our food. And we'll dive into both of those elements, but just real quick, this quick graph. Restaurants are on this boom, right? For the first time since 2015, American spending in restaurants caught up with grocery spending. So people are going out and they're eating out. It's a huge market, hundreds and hundreds of billions of dollars. The connection, like I said, the connection to food, connection to each other. Why do we go? Why do we go to these social gathering spaces? And they're falling off, right? Back in the day when our parents were growing up, they had, they still have them, but they had the Elks clubs and Rotary clubs and all these social functions where people got together out on their front porch. But now those are becoming more scarce, and as things become more scarce, they become more valuable. So really, we all know that the one time we get together and celebrate wedding proposal or a birthday or a good grade on a test or something happened, or you're crying in your beer because your girlfriend dumped you, you need to be with your buddies, you're going to watch a game. Really one of the last opportunities and chances to do that is at a restaurant, or to go have a meeting at a coffee shop or one of those things. So we feel like that being a restaurant serving as that vessel to connect people to each other is really one of the last opportunities to do that in a social sort of setting. And then also, not only to be around friends and the people that you know, but just that sort of ancillary feeling of being around other people within your community as well. So just being around other folks and having the opportunity to bump into them and talk to them, I think is valuable as well. For us at Pullman, and we really pride ourselves on, again, that connection, not only to people that you're there at the restaurant with, but connecting each other with the community and the partnerships. We really pride ourselves on working with the different arts and culture institutions, film scene. One of our most successful events at Pullman, we did a dinner and a movie where we showed the movie The Chef. Here at Pullman, or here at Film Scene, we went over and we decorated the whole diner like it was the food truck on the movie. I don't know if anybody's seen that movie. And they served the Cuban sandwiches and had the music playing and everything. So those sort of collaborations. Andre Perry, who's the executive director at Englert, curated all of our music lists. We had local artists, and we just tried to do a bunch of different things to collaborate with different folks, different institutions. Some of the things we have coming up, we're doing a really fun, it's called Ladies on Fire. It's a collaboration. It's all women chefs in downtown. Our sous chef, Emily Agnew, is she's going to collaborate with Hannah from Clinton Street Social Club and Ashley, our pastry chef, and some mixologists. And there's like 6 or 8 women farmers from the corridor area. They're going to come and they're going to source all the food from them and just do this crazy women's night of food. So this, again, just being able to collaborate, and we view our partnership. We did one with Cobble Hill this past summer when we did kind of a mashup where all their chefs came down here. We went up there, just not viewing other restaurants as competitors, but as collaborators and ways to build the culinary community here locally. We're going out to one of our farmers and doing an open pit dinner night out with one of our farm partners. And then we're working on this really fun collaboration with Hansher. There's 4 downtown restaurants and Pullman's one of them. We're going to go down and do a takeover of Hansher and really celebrate that new space this fall and spring as well. So just that power of being able to connect with each other and those partnerships is really a huge value that restaurants bring. This is one of my favorite quotes here. You know, if you want to go quickly, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. For us, we don't want to be one of these flash in the pan restaurants. We want to be here and really integrate ourselves in the community and be one of the, you know, in 30 years, hopefully people can look back at Pullman like they look at Hamburg Inn or the Airliner or Polly Eyes Pizza. We don't want to just kind of be in and be a trendy thing. We want to integrate ourselves into the community and create a lasting business. That connection to the food, I think this is all sort of obvious. I love this picture, you know, what it used to be like back in our parents' and grandparents' day when you go in and the butcher's cutting it up versus now the sort of industrialization of food. And I think it's just an animal, human instinct coming from our, you know, hunters and gatherers that we want to be connected to our food in certain ways. So for us at Pullman, we wanted to bring that forward in a very apparent way. Those of you that have been there, our kitchen is out on display for everybody to see. All of our food's there, everything's prepped there, cooked right in front of you. But just the ability to connect people with their food is a big piece. I think why restaurants are important as opposed to kind of food as a transaction, but food as a restaurant as an experience. With like Amazon Fresh and Blue Apron and some of these things, you can have food show up in your door in a day and a half. But if that's an option, why do we continue to go to these public places and eat with our friends and other people in our community? It's because of not only that connection to each other, but also that longing to be connected to how our food is made. And then also just the piece about, you know, local and supporting the local economy, building the local economy, supporting farmers, and celebrating local as well. That's something we really try to do as much as we can. Obviously there's some constraints from a seasonality standpoint, but just featuring local products like Cedar Ridge and our farming partners, and we have a fun popcorn, tiny but mighty popcorn at Pullman, which is great too. So we just try to feature those things just to help support and build the local economy as well. Local artists did a lot of our artwork in there too, just another way for us to collaborate and partner. All right, switching gears, I promise we'll go two-pronged here. Downtown, why I care about downtown, I think you guys can all relate to this. I mean, this is sort of some Tony Hsieh mixed in with a few other philosophies here, but if you look at why cities are important, we all know that there's this kind of urban migration happening across the world, and it's happening here too. You're seeing that in Cedar Rapids and down in Newbo and here in downtown Iowa City. I get calls constantly, people that want to live here, they want an office here, they want to be around the energy that's happening. And why are urban environments, why are downtowns important? And first of all, they're dense and they have diversity, right? And what happens then is you have these collaborations and these collisions. People are able to, you know, it's not only the purposeful collaborations, but and how easy that is to go to different meetings in face and in person, but also the random bump in at the coffee shop with the lawyer bumps into the physics professor at the university, and they have this conversation. And they, you know, met each other 2 years ago. What's the byproduct of that, and why is that important? And from that becomes these great innovation and ideas, and really thinking of ideas as sort of the main commerce of the 21st century, right? So that really the driver of that is the ability to have the density and the diversity of different people and opinions all in one place. Is why you know, downtown's really important. For me personally, my main job is in retail development, so I work with the property owners in downtown. We have this is our current mix of what's happening at the street level. You can see we've got a big glut of food and beverage. A lot of that was from bars. So really our goal is to get this percentages back with some more retail, adding in some more you know, chef-driven, unique culinary concepts. So I'm working with our property owners when vacancies come available, try to fill those with great uses that really help build the vibrancy of our downtown area. Some of the items we're focusing on, if there's any interested budding retailers out there, restaurateurs. Some things we've identified is that we're actively seeking. Children's store, we don't have any of those. We see those to be really successful in other markets. A kitchen and cookware with perhaps some sort of exhibition element to it, or a cooking school. Apparel, both men's and women's. We have really great stock of women's boutiques. We don't have any men's clothing. We've got one Scout Clothing that's hoping to launch here in the next couple months. That'll be great. Again, the fresh, unique, independent restaurant concepts. We'd love to have a florist back downtown. I know Mike would like that. He likes to impress the ladies taking home your wife. Bike shop, we don't have that. You know, a lot of great downtowns have a bike shop. There's somewhere you can bring your bike in and get it repaired. And just a great shoe store, right? Everybody loves a good shoe store. Things coming down the pipeline for us, most of you guys know, Merge is the collaboration between ICAD and the University of Iowa, which is really exciting. That's just to the west of the library here on the Ped Mall. That's gonna be the new co-working space. We were just talking outside there. They have to go through some hurdles here to get that all built out. We're hoping that's all finished and ready to rock and roll by the spring, which will be an awesome place for entrepreneurs and makers and creators to gather right in the heart of our downtown. I'm spearheading this really cool project called Project Cosign. It's going to be this funky collaboration between our small businesses, the artist community, and our sign fabricators, where I'll quarterback this program where they'll opt in to have a new sign created, and then we'll get a group of about 50 different artists that'll do this kind of speed dating over the course of a week and provide these really creative designs for the signs for the new businesses, and we'll get about 15 to 20 businesses to participate, and then with the sign fabricators to make these new funky, crazy signs, and then we'll do this unveiling ceremony when that's all finished as well to really help create a more creative street-level environment with a better ambiance to it. Zombie Burger, anybody familiar with that out of Des Moines? We're getting our Zombie Burger, people are pumped about that, so that'll be coming, spice shakes and crazy zombie stuff. We did this bike parklet, our first on-street bike parklet, which is super exciting. The School of Music is going to open in October. That's 300 plus performances, which is huge for us. We really hang our hat on, at least downtown here, just being this great energy of arts and culture with, like I said, the film scene in Englert, Riverside Theater, Public Space 1. Now we have all the university stuff that's coming on board. Even though Hampshire isn't downtown, we're claiming Hampshire like it's downtown. We'll take them. So all this cool stuff, we really hope to be the epicenter of all cool things that are happening in the arts and culture world. We've been trying to program the Ped Mall with Blackhawk Mini Park, which is just on the north end by where all the construction is at, with some unique things. So we've got this 25, 30-foot rock climbing wall that's going to be coming this weekend for 2 weekends, and we bring in this paddleboard pool that takes up the whole width of Blackhawk Mini Park, so you can paddleboard in the middle of the Ped Mall as well. Just kind of some fun, funky stuff coming down the pipeline. And then, of course, we're all excited to get this damn construction out of the way and get back to the downtown that's not full of dust. So those are some things just coming down the pipeline. And just in closing, the big learning for me, especially in the economic development world, coming from the football world, where you go out, you practice on Monday, you practice for 6 days, you go to Sunday, you win or you lose, you make field goals, you miss field goals, everything's black and white. You have more of this sort of trajectory, or it goes like that, depending upon what your success rate is. But in the sort of economic development world, I know a lot of you guys see this in the business world and the community building world too. You know, it's not a clear-cut thing, right? It's more of this long-term, long game, and it's hard to see the little wins as they're happening along the way. But just knowing that it's being purposeful about it and working your way towards those goals, that eventually that arrow's still pointing in the right direction. So that's it.